You know what's wrong with your life right now. You don't need another video to tell you. You don't need another book, another podcast, another motivational quote saved to a folder you never open again. You already know. You wake up every day with that quiet, uncomfortable feeling sitting in your chest. The feeling that you are capable of so much more than what you're actually doing. And yet, nothing changes. Be honest. How long have you been waiting to become the person you keep promising yourself you'll be? 6 months? A year? Longer? Because here's the truth. Nobody wants to say out loud. You're not stuck because life is hard. You're stuck because your daily habits are silently, consistently, brutally working against you every single day. That ends today. Or it doesn't. That part is on you. This video is about 3 habits, but not the kind you've heard before. Not drink more water, not make your bed, not surface-level advice that makes you feel productive for 24 hours and then disappears into the noise of your unchanged life. These are 3 fundamental shifts in how you start your day, how you make decisions, and where you place your attention. And if you actually apply them, not watch them, not save them, not think about them, but actually apply them, your life will look unrecognizable in 90 days. The dark truth is this. Most people will watch this, feel something, and do nothing. They'll get the dopamine hit of feeling like they're changing without doing the uncomfortable work of actually changing. Don't be that person. Not again. Let's talk about where you are right now. Your days don't belong to you. That's the reality. You wake up, already reactive, phone in hand, within minutes. Notifications, messages, other people's noise flooding your mind before you've had a single intentional thought. Before you've decided what matters today, the world has already decided for you, and you let it. Every morning, you let it. Think about that. The first moments of your day, the moments when your mind is freshest, when your willpower is at its peak, when you have the most clarity, you are giving those moments away to social media, to news, to everyone and everything except the life you're trying to build. And then you wonder why by noon, you feel scattered. By evening, you feel drained. By night, you feel like another day passed and nothing really moved. That's not a mystery. That's a direct result of how you're starting your days. Stop lying to yourself. You don't have a productivity problem. You don't have a motivation problem. You have a morning problem, because whoever controls your morning controls your entire day. And right now, you are not controlling your morning. Your habits are. Your phone is. Your weakness is, and it compounds. Every chaotic morning leads to a chaotic afternoon. Every reactive start leads to a reactive day. Every day you don't own your morning is a day you spend catching up, always behind, always scattered, always one step away from the focused, intentional version of yourself you swear you're going to become. Feel that. Really feel what that pattern has been costing you. Not just today, over months, over years. The accumulated cost of 1,000 mornings handed away to distraction is not small. It is enormous. It is the difference between who you are right now and who you could have been. Habit 1. Control your mornings. So here's the first habit, and it's non-negotiable. Control your mornings before the world controls you. This doesn't mean waking up at 4 a.m. It doesn't mean a 2-hour routine with cold plunges and journaling and meditation and everything you've seen influencers perform online. It means one thing. When you wake up, the first hour belongs to you. Only you. Not your phone, not your notifications, not other people's demands. The first 60 minutes of your day must be intentional, completely, ruthlessly intentional. Here's what that actually looks like. You wake up. You do not touch your phone. Not for 5 minutes, not for 10, not for the entire first hour. Instead, you move. You drink water. You sit with your own thoughts long enough to remember what you're working toward. You review what matters today, not what's urgent to everyone else, but what's important to you. You prime your mind before the noise gets in. That's it. That's the habit. Simple, brutal in its simplicity, because the moment you pick up that phone, you have lost. The algorithm has you. The notifications have you. Other people's priorities have you. And you will spend the rest of the day trying to recover a clarity that never fully comes back. You already know this. You felt the difference on the rare mornings when you moved slowly, intentionally, quietly, before the world got loud. You felt sharper, more focused, more like yourself. That wasn't an accident. That was your mind operating the way it was meant to operate before you trained it to need constant stimulation just to function. The morning is a battlefield, and right now you are losing it every single day before you even realize the fight has started. That changes with this habit. Own the morning. Own the day. It's that direct. It's that simple, and it requires you to be harder than the version of yourself that reaches for comfort the moment consciousness returns. Here's what nobody tells you about changing your mornings. The first few days will feel wrong, uncomfortable. Your hand will reach for the phone automatically, because that's what addiction looks like. Not dramatic, not obvious, just an automatic reach for the thing that gives you stimulation without requiring anything from you. And in that moment, that specific moment when your hand reaches and your brain screams for input, that is the moment everything is decided. That tiny moment, repeated every morning, is either building the person you want to become or destroying them. There is no neutral. Every morning you either win that moment or you lose it. And losing it, really understand this. Losing that one moment doesn't just cost you a morning. It confirms a story. The story that your impulses are stronger than your intentions. That comfort always wins. That the version of yourself you want to become is always just one more day away. You've been writing that story for too long. Part 2 is going to go deeper into why your mind keeps choosing weakness even when you consciously want something different. Into the psychology of why you fail repeatedly at the same points, and into the second habit that will force your brain to start working for you instead of against you. Stay with me. Let's talk about why you keep failing. Not in a vague, general way, specifically, mechanically, because there is a reason, a real psychological reason, that you can want something deeply, understand it clearly, plan for it seriously, and still find yourself back at zero within days. It's not weakness of character. It's not that you're broken. It's that your brain is doing exactly what it was trained to do. And what it was trained to do is choose easy. Every time you avoided something hard and chose something comfortable instead, your brain filed that away. Every time you scrolled instead of worked, rested instead of pushed, distracted instead of faced, your brain learned. It learned that hard things equal pain, that comfort equals reward. And now, without you even consciously deciding, your brain is steering you away from everything difficult before you even realize it's happening. This is not motivation. This is neuroscience, and understanding it changes everything. Here's the loop you're trapped in, and I need you to see it clearly. You decide to change. You feel the motivation, that surge of genuine, real intention. You start, and for a day, maybe 2, maybe even a week, you move. You feel different. You feel like this time is real. Then something happens. A hard day, a moment of stress, a situation where the comfortable choice is right there, easy, available, familiar, and your brain, trained by months and years of choosing comfort, pulls you toward it, not dramatically, quietly, almost reasonably. It whispers that you deserve a break, that one day off won't matter, that you'll restart tomorrow. You listen, and then tomorrow becomes the next day, and the next, and suddenly the momentum is gone, the habit is broken, and you're back at the beginning. Except now there's an extra layer of guilt, an extra layer of evidence that you can't sustain change, an extra confirmation of the story your brain has been telling about you. Be honest. How many times have you lived that exact loop? The problem isn't willpower. Willpower is finite. It runs out. The problem is that you've been trying to fight your brain's programming with motivation instead of replacing the programming entirely. Motivation fades, always. It is designed to fade. It is a spark, not a fuel source. And if your entire system depends on feeling motivated to do the work, you will fail every single time the feeling disappears, which is exactly what's been happening. Let's talk about what's filling the space where your discipline should be. Your phone, your comfort content, the endless, frictionless, algorithmically perfected stream of stimulation that is available to you every second of every day. This is not a small thing. This is not, oh, I spend a bit too much time online. This is a fundamental rewiring of your brain's reward system. Every time you pick up your phone for no reason, your brain gets a hit, small but real. Every scroll, every notification, every video that autoplays, tiny hits of dopamine, one after another, training your brain to expect reward without effort, training it to need stimulation to feel normal, training it to find anything that doesn't provide instant reward, like deep work, like discipline, like building something real, unbearably boring. Think about that. You are medicating yourself with distraction, and like any medication taken too often, your tolerance goes up. You need more to feel the same. The work feels harder. The silence feels louder. The discomfort of actually building something feels almost physically painful compared to the frictionless ease of consuming. You already know this. You feel it, that restlessness when you sit down to do something important. That immediate pull toward your phone within minutes. That's not laziness, that's withdrawal. Your brain has been conditioned to need constant input, and the moment you try to do something that requires sustained focus, it rebels. Stop lying to yourself about how much this is affecting you. It is affecting everything. Habit 2. Do the hard thing first, which brings us to the second habit, and this one will restructure how your entire brain operates. Do the hard thing first, every single day, without negotiation. Whatever the task is that you've been avoiding, the one that actually matters, the one that moves your life forward, the one you orbit around and prepare for and think about without ever touching. That is the first thing you do. Before email, before social media, before anything comfortable or easy or rewarding. This is called eating the frog, but I'm not going to call it that because it sounds soft. This is called war. You are going to war with the most resistant part of yourself every single morning, and you are going to win that war before the day has a chance to steal your energy. Here's why this works psychologically. Willpower is highest in the morning. Decision fatigue hasn't set in yet. The accumulated weight of the day hasn't worn you down. The distractions haven't gotten their hooks in yet. This is your peak state, and right now you are wasting it on low-resistance activities that make you feel busy without moving anything forward. When you do the hard thing first, two things happen. First, you build real momentum, the kind that carries through the rest of the day because you've already won the most important battle. Second, and more powerfully, you send a message to your own brain. You prove with action, not intention, that you are the kind of person who does hard things, that your comfort is not in charge, that your future is more important than your feelings right now. That proof accumulates. Every morning you win that first battle. The story about who you are changes slightly, not dramatically, not overnight, but it changes, and over weeks, over months, the person looking back at you from the mirror starts to look like someone you actually respect. Feel that, because that feeling, that quiet, unperformed self-respect is what you've been missing. Not confidence, not motivation, self-respect, the kind that only comes from doing what you said you would do, especially when you didn't feel like it. Here's the deepest truth of part 2, and I need you to sit with this. You don't just have a habit problem, you have an identity problem. The habits you have right now, the scrolling, the avoidance, the broken promises, the comfortable choices, they aren't random. They are expressions of who you currently believe you are. Deep down, beneath the plans and the intentions and the motivation, there is a belief. A quiet, persistent, devastating belief that this is just who you are, that discipline is for other people, that the version of yourself you imagine is out of reach. And here's how identity works. Your brain will always act in alignment with who it believes you are. Always. You can fight it with motivation for a few days, but eventually the identity wins. The behavior snaps back to match the belief. This is why change feels impossible. You're trying to build new habits on top of an old identity. You're trying to add discipline to a self-image that doesn't include a disciplined person. It doesn't work. It has never worked. It will never work. The only way to change change the habits permanently is to change the identity first, to start genuinely, not performatively, seeing yourself as someone who does hard things, someone who owns their morning, someone who works before they consume, someone who keeps their word to themselves, even when no one is watching. You're not there yet, that's fine. But part 3 is going to show you exactly how to get there, how to rebuild your identity from the inside out, and how the third habit ties everything together into a system that actually holds, because information without a system is just entertainment, and you've been entertained long enough. You're still here. That already says something about you. Most people checked out. Most people got uncomfortable, felt the weight of what was said, and clicked away back to something easier. But you stayed, which means some part of you, maybe a small part, maybe buried under months of broken promises, still believes you can be different. Hold on to that, because what comes next is where everything changes. Habit 3, protect your attention. We've talked about owning your morning. We've talked about doing the hard thing first. Now the third habit, and this one is the one that holds everything together. Protect your attention like your life depends on it, because it does. Your attention is not just a resource. It is the currency of your entire existence. Every dream you have, every goal you've written down, every version of yourself you've imagined becoming, all of it requires one thing above everything else. Not money, not talent, not luck. Attention, sustained, focused, intentional attention directed at what actually matters. And right now, be honest, where is your attention going? Fragmented, scattered across 100 different inputs, notifications, conversations, content pieces, none of which are building your life. You are spending the most valuable thing you have on things that return nothing. And the worst part is that you've normalized it. Everyone around you is doing it. The whole world is doing it, so it feels fine. It feels normal. It is not fine. It is not normal. It is a slow, invisible theft of your potential happening in real time every single day, and you are handing over the keys willingly. Think about that. Really think about what 1 year of fully protected, fully directed attention could build. 1 year of waking up with intention. 1 year of doing the hardest work first. 1 year of cutting the noise and pointing your focus like a laser at the thing that matters most to you. What would exist at the end of that year that doesn't exist right now? You know the answer. You can feel it, and you can also feel the gap between that vision and where you currently are. That gap has one name: attention. Stolen, wasted, surrendered attention. So here is the system, not theory, not inspiration. A real daily structure that ties all 3 habits together into something that actually holds when motivation disappears, because it will disappear. This is what your day looks like now. You wake up, first 60 minutes, no phone, no input, no other people's noise. You move your body, even briefly. You drink water. You look at the one thing that matters most today. Not your entire to-do list, just the one thing. You sit with it. You let your mind wake up in silence instead of chaos. Then you work before anything else. Before you check messages, before you open social media, before you do anything comfortable, you start the hard thing. You don't wait to feel ready. Ready is a lie your brain tells you to delay action. You start before you're ready, and readiness follows. It always follows action. It never precedes it. You work for 90 minutes, uninterrupted. Phone in another room, not on silent, in another room. Notifications off, one task, total focus. 90 minutes of real, undistracted work done consistently will outperform 8 hours of scattered, reactive, distracted effort every single time. Then you live the rest of your day, but with boundaries. Specific times for checking your phone. Specific times for consuming content. Not all day. Every time there's a gap. Every time you feel slightly bored or uncomfortable. Specific, contained windows. Because boredom is not the enemy. Boredom is where your brain processes, creates, and recovers. The discomfort of boredom is something you need to be able to sit with again at night. And this matters more than most people realize. You review, not obsessively, not for hours, 5 minutes. Did you own your morning? Did you do the hard thing first? Did you protect your attention? 3 questions, honest answers. No performance, no justification, just truth. And then you plan tomorrow so that when you wake up, you already know what the one thing is. There's no decision fatigue, no wasted morning energy figuring out what to do. You already know. You just execute. That's the system. Simple enough to actually follow, demanding enough to actually change you. But here's what I need you to understand about all of this, and this might be the most important thing in this entire video. These habits will not feel good at first. They will feel like resistance. They will feel like friction. Every morning when you don't reach for your phone, your brain will protest. Every time you start the hard task first, part of you will look for an exit. Every time you protect your attention, the pull of distraction will be real and strong and uncomfortable. And that discomfort, that specific feeling of going against your conditioning, that is not a sign that something is wrong. That is the sign that something is finally right. That is what growth actually feels like from the inside. Not inspiring, not cinematic, just uncomfortable and necessary and real. The people you admire, the ones who seem to have an almost inhuman level of discipline and focus, they don't do hard things because it's easy for them. They do hard things because they have made a decision at the identity level that difficulty is not a reason to stop. They have decided that the discomfort of discipline is always, always preferable to the devastation of regret. That decision is available to you right now, not tomorrow, not when the circumstances are better, not when you feel more ready. Right now, in this moment, the decision to be someone who chooses the hard thing, someone who keeps their word to themselves, someone who treats their attention as sacred and their mornings as non-negotiable. That decision, made quietly, privately, with no audience, is the beginning of everything. You already know this. You've known it for a long time. The question has never been whether you understand what it takes. The question is whether you are finally done with the version of yourself that understands everything and changes nothing. Let's make this concrete one final time. Habit 1. Own your morning. First 60 minutes, no phone, no noise. Prime your mind before the world gets to it. This single change will shift the quality of every day that follows. Habit 2. Do the hard thing first. Before comfort, before reward, before anything easy. Attack the most important task when your mind is sharpest. Build the proof every single day that you are someone who does hard things. Habit 3. Protect your attention. Ruthlessly, specifically, create boundaries around your focus the way you would protect anything precious, because there is nothing more precious. Your attention is your life, made tangible, made spendable. Spend it on what matters. 3 habits, 90 days, consistent, imperfect, relentless application, not perfect execution. Consistency, because perfection is another trap, another reason to quit when one morning goes wrong, when one day breaks the streak, when one moment of weakness becomes a reason to abandon the entire thing. No, you miss a day, you get back up the next morning. You have a bad week, you return to the system. The goal is not a perfect record. The goal is a life built by someone who keeps returning to what matters, no matter how many times they stumble. That's what discipline actually is. Not a personality trait you either have or you don't. Not a gift given to certain people. A practice. A daily, imperfect, non-negotiable practice of returning to your intentions, to your commitments, to the version of yourself you are choosing to become. I want you to imagine something 90 days from now. Same life, same circumstances, same challenges, but a different you moving through them. A you that wakes up with intention instead of reaction. A you that has spent 90 mornings winning the first battle of the day before the world even knows you're awake. A you that has done the hard thing so consistently that it has stopped feeling hard and started feeling like identity. A you whose attention has been protected and directed and invested into something real. What has that person built? What does that person feel when they lie down at night? What is the difference between that person's relationship with themselves and yours right now? That person is not a fantasy. That person is the direct, logical, inevitable result of these 3 habits practiced consistently over 90 days. They are not superhuman. They are just someone who made a decision and then kept making it every morning, one day at a time. The only question left is whether you are going to be that person, or whether you are going to close this video, feel the familiar surge of "this time will be different," and return to exactly what you were doing before. Both choices are available to you. Only one of them leads somewhere worth going. So here's your moment. Not tomorrow. Not after you finish this episode, this season, this one last scroll, right now. This moment. Pick one habit, just one. Decide that starting tomorrow morning, that habit is non-negotiable. Not a goal, not a plan, a decision. The kind of decision you make about yourself that doesn't require revisiting every morning, and then do it. Not perfectly, not with full confidence. Just do it if you're ready, if you're genuinely, finally, seriously done with the version of yourself that watches and understands and changes nothing. Comment one word below. Done. Not because it signals anything to anyone else, because it signals something to you, because the moment you write that word, you are making a public commitment to a private revolution. And that moment, small, quiet, digital, can be the line between the life you've been living and the life you've been capable of all along. You know what you need to do. Now go do it.